Welcome, true believers, to Organic Priced Books. I'm your guest host, the Badwolf from Badwolf Comics, and today we're going to overview X Lives of Wolverine, X Deaths of Wolverine. Let's take a look. Alright, let's get into this. So here's your dust jacket. This is the DM cover. Here's our spine. And the back. Take the dust jacket off here. And it's got a yellow hardcover. Kind of basic, actually, compared to some of the other stuff I've seen from Marvel. It's pretty basic, but don't judge a book by its cover. Let's dig into this. The most expansive Wolverine story of all time. The mutant known as Wolverine has lived many lives under many different identities, but never before has the fate of the future been so entwined with his past. To prevent a terrible tragedy, Logan must travel to various points in time to prevent the death of a key figure in mutant history. But that's only the beginning. Benjamin Percy presents a time-shredding saga across all of Wolverine history and futures yet to come. Alright, so this book really collects X Lives of Wolverine 1-5 and X Deaths of Wolverine 1-5. This has a lot to do with some very modern X-Men stories. Probably the first that I've actually read of the new modern era stories. I probably should have started earlier with some other stuff. But we're just going to go through the art here and a little bit of the story so you can get a little bit better idea of what it's about. It's really like Quantum Leap meets X-Men meets Terminator. Wolverine is sent back in time via leaping into his own body along his own timeline. And he has to save a fellow X-Men that is targeted for assassination by Omega Red, who's jumping into other people's bodies along the timeline in order to get to this mutant. But let's just take a look. I like the pages in this. The pages are thick enough that I can't see through them when I'm turning the pages. They're a nice high gloss, photo papery kind of paper. So I really like that. A lot of the newer Marvel books just aren't living up to par with the paper. So I really was pleasantly surprised that they went ahead and went with a higher quality paper. I love this splash shot here. And the second main plot in this is Moira McTaggart. She's been exiled from Krakoa. She's considered a traitor by mutants. The FBI is also after her for other reasons. This does take place right after Inferno, so if you haven't read Inferno, I highly suggest you read that. It was very confusing for me in some parts just because I hadn't read that. And it's actually probably spoiled a few things for me when I go back to Inferno later to see how the story actually began. So yeah, Mystique is on the trail of Moira McTaggart, and Moira is living powerless. She's got this phalanx arm. Here Moira's cut her hair. She's going incognito. So here he's back fighting with Sabretooth and Maverick. Back when he was mercenary for hire, he's kind of regretting some of his past decisions, talking to Jean about it in his head. Those phalanx claws, man. And you're back with Moira. Yeah, the story was very confusing for me at first, but as I started to read further, I did kind of catch up. I mean, it was actually a really good story. Once I kind of got my bearings of where I was and what was happening and what had transpired in the past. Like I say, I'm missing a lot, so I really need to go back and read a lot of that. So it's actually renewed my interest to go back and read those stories. But I mean, the lettering is great. The writing is all really good. The art is great. The paper is really high quality. I like that. The binding actually is also really good. If you can see, it's really small, but it's broke in well. It doesn't creak and crack. I'm able to read the story without any problems. That's a great splash page. And here's Moira again. Another segment on her. Then the Wolverine kids taking care of business here. They basically been called in because this phalanx version of Wolverine that's running around, and they don't know how else to stop him other than to send one Wolverine against another Wolverine, basically fighting fire with fire there. So it was really interesting. Oh, he's back in the Weapon X facility here. Looks like there's a pilot here, and we're going to skip a few pages here because I don't want to give too much away. There's a lot of spoilers in that last page. I know I give some already, but I try not to give too terribly many. All right. See there. Looks like they're having a family moment here. Again, I'm going to skip a few, not trying to spoil too terribly much. But if you're a Wolverine fan, like the timeline stuff, it's not too confusing for you, where they bounce back and forth. This is definitely a book for you, man. I mean, there's a lot of confusion for me because I haven't read a lot of the backstory, but overall, the book was good. The story was good. Wolverine's putting on the classic. A little bit of Omega Red here. But, I mean, it was really good. I enjoyed it. Once I got past being all the confusion and whatnot of the story. And we're just about finished through the book here. I'm going to skip another big chunk because every page there had major spoilers, and I didn't want to do that. Skipping again. Little family moment we're having. And here we have all the extras. A lot of extra. These are the covers and whatnot. This is X Lives of Wolverine #1 variant. Another variant cover for X Lives Wolverine #1. Oh, what a great shot. X Lives of Wolverine #1 and X Deaths of Wolverine #1 connecting variants. So this is both #1 cover variant covers, and they connected together. So X Lives of Wolverine #1 Stormbreakers variant here. #1 animation style, classic homage. X Lives of Wolverine variant. This kind of almost looks like the Spider-Man Spider-Verse cover homage. Maybe that's what that is, but it looks a lot like it. I like that. And then another X Lives of Wolverine variant. Here's #2 variants. Here's our #3 variants. Very nice. #4. X Lives Wolverine #5 variants. Very nice. I like that. That's pretty sweet too. This is the X Lives Wolverine #5 and Deaths of Wolverine #5. They were connecting the spines on these. That is sweet. I like that. Here's our Phalanx Wolverine. X Deaths of Wolverine #1 Omega Wolverine spoiler variant. So I'm spoiling the spoiler variant. Right here, folks. X Deaths of Wolverine #1 Stormbreakers variant. So we have X Lives of Wolverine and X Deaths of Wolverine #1. And then second printing. Okay. Anime style variant for X Lives #1. And a lot of variants for this, man. Oh, that's a cool shot. Looks like they had some cards, trading card variants, huh? Nice. Top secret files. There we go, and that, as they say, is that. This book retails for $75. You can get it right now at Organic Price Books for $58. A few books to recommend reading with this book and companion. I would recommend the X of Swords, the Hickman X-Men, and Inferno X-Men. Those 3 books pretty go hand in hand with this era, and I highly recommend reading those before you get into this. But that's our overview for X Lives of Wolverine, X Deaths of Wolverine. If you enjoyed this video, stick around, true believers. I've got a new video for Organic Price Books every month, and we have new content all the time on the Bad Wolf Comics channel. Come see us soon. I am the Bad Wolf. This is Bad Wolf Comics. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.